do I have a story for you today, chat? So, generally on ZNN, I talk about hot topics of the day, or I look at, like, links, sometimes actually look at links like I did yesterday, actual photos of Link from the Zelda series. And then sometimes, when something happens in my life, I like to talk about it, okay? My life's pretty boring. So in general, I don't often have time or often have things to talk about. And there's not a lot of times where I'm like, all right, here's something great from my life. But today, I have something to talk about. So pretty much every night, I would say 60%, 70% of the week, I go out with my family, my mother, my sister, and one of my brothers, and Chris, of course, my wife. And we play tennis. We do it at like 8:15 at night. We found a nice court with lights at like a community park. We just go there. We play tennis. We're very bad at it. I'm probably the worst at it, but it's exercise, okay? And that's what we've been doing the past couple months. We've been playing tennis at night. And usually it's pretty uneventful, just play a few games, play about an hour, and then we head home. Last night, on the way out, okay, we had finished our games. We had picked up all our balls. We'd grabbed all our rackets. We're walking down the sidewalk back to the parking lot, to the car, and we just hear my mom go, "Wait, come here," and we turn around, and she is just standing on the sidewalk, looking into a pine tree like this. And we go, what are you doing? And she goes, "There's something up there." Well, my first thought is there's an owl or something evil, It's some curse, some cursed object, zombies, a bike. Bike didn't cross my mind. That's probably too big for the tree. But we turn around. All of my siblings, we kind of give ourselves a look like, what's going on? We walk back there and we look up, and up in this tree, maybe 10 feet off the ground on like the third layer of branches, is a little tiny stuffed animal. It looks like a Jigglypuff. Like it's like a pure circle, cream colored, with a little face. It's like an inch by an inch. It looks like a Happy Meal toy. And it's just hanging in the tree off a pine cone. And I'm like, it's just a kid's toy. Like probably some sister, like it's some evil brother, angry, a mean older brother took her toy and threw it up into the tree. And that's it. And my mom goes, and I BS you not. My mom said, "What if there's gold in it?" And I said, "Mom, no one is going to take their Happy Meal toy, fill it with gold, and then throw it into a tree. Like, that's not going to happen." And Menace, it's funny that you say that, because literally she's like, "Look at my eyes. Look at how good my eyes are for noticing that, Little sister, big brother, would you kindly? Someone should make a mod for BioShock all about little stuffed animals. So I'm like, who cares? Let's just leave it there. I want to go home because I know that Colby has Discorded messaged me about 15 minutes prior while I was on the court. I saw it on my watch and said, "I've downloaded Apex Legends." And I'm like, I want to go home and I want to play a couple games with Colby playing Apex Legends, okay? I'll make sure he has an awful time and never plays with me again. So I'm like, let's just go, just leave it. And she's like, "No, we got to get it down. What if there's gold in it?" So my brother Luke grabs a racket, holds it by the handle, and throws it at the tree. I wonder if I should have done a little bit of prep. I wonder if this is on Street View so I can paint you guys a picture. Let me look. Let me see if this is on Street View and you can see the tree in question. Let me zoom in here. Where's it at? It's right here. It's right here. Let me see if Street View will show you the tree in question. It's right here. Okay. All right, so this is the street. Of course, it's nighttime, obviously, when we're there. Okay, but here's the tennis courts. Okay, here's the tennis courts where we're at. This is the tree. This is the tree right here, all right? And these trash cans right here are on the base of this tree. I don't know if it's usually that way. Let me see if we can get an angle on it. So, like, right here, like right at the base of the trunk here is a trash can. And this is the tennis court we were playing on right here. And we walk down this sidewalk to the parking lot. I like park over here. And there is like right here at the tree is where the stuffed animal is. Okay? And there's a trash can right at the base of the trunk. And Luke takes his racket and goes and throws it at the tree like a ninja. Hits the limbs, misses the stuffed animal, doink, 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 roomp, right into the trash can. Which, thank God, is empty. Okay? Because usually, that trash can is filled with garbage, and it smells like a hobo died in there, and then a dog crawled out of that hobo's butt and died right next to that hobo. That's usually what that trash can smells like. So, thank God, apparently, Wednesdays are the days where they get rid of the trash, so it was empty. But he completely missed. So he goes and he digs the racket out of the trash can. And my sister, you know, she's well educated. You know, she works at a doctor's office. She's a sonographer, which means she takes sonograms and stuff. She's actually smart, okay? She's the black sheep of the family. She goes and she takes a trash can and leans it at an angle against the trunk, so the no more rackets will fall in. However, she's not smart enough to just turn to all of us and go, "You all are idiots. Let's leave the stuffed animal and stop throwing rackets," because by putting the trash can up against the tree, she has in fact encouraged us to throw more rackets at it. Okay? Monster, I hope you're healthy, brother. I hope you stay healthy. Be careful. But yeah, dude, no school benefit. That's what you love to see. You love to see it. But you don't. But you do, you know. You do. So, trash can's up against the tree. Doll still in there. Racket has been fished out from the trash can. Luke once again takes a swing at it. Throws it right at the doll again. This time, it hits the limb. Doesn't knock the doll down, though, and then gets stuck on the canopy of limbs beneath the doll. We now have a tennis racket stuck in the tree. About 12 feet, 8 to 10, probably 8 to 10 feet above the ground. Okay? Then Luke goes, "It's all right, bruh. I'm going to take care of this." And he walks, instead of being like, if the tree is here, he's throwing it like sideways at the tree. And now he's moving, so he's going to throw it at the front of the tree. Okay? Throw it at the front of the tree so he can get the racket down. So he throws it. Wah! Completely misses. Okay? Completely misses the thing. The toy hits the racket, but it gets stuck too. So now there's 2 rackets stuck up in the tree. Okay? Well, now I've seen enough. It's time for Big Daddy Zswiggs to get involved. Okay? And I see all your questions in chat. Listen, we had already started throwing rackets. It's too late to stop throwing rackets at this point. Okay? That's what happens. Hey, Smart. So, Big Daddy Swiggs, we have 5 rackets. 2 of them are our and Chris's, 3 of them are my family's. I give my 2 to Chris because I ain't getting my racket stuck in a tree. All right? I grab my racket. Line it up. Hit the toy. Hit the rackets. Bounces off. Does the Price is Right plinko. Hits the trunk of the tree and then falls into the trash can. Which is a miracle because there's like an inch of space to get into that trash can. And then I'm like, that was on purpose. LeBron James, because the thing got in the trash can. And then I remembered that I had to, fish the racket out of the death trash. And so my joy quickly turned to dismay. But it was a spectacle, believe you me. So then I grabbed the racket out. And then I go, I'm going to get it this time for sure. Take my racket. Get in position. There are now 3 rackets stuck in the tree. So at this point, I'm not going to throw my racket up there. The rackets that Chris and I own, okay? They're not expendable like my mom's rackets, okay? So I walk up to the base of the tree and look straight up. All right, so once again, here's the tree in question. I'm standing right here at the bottom of this tree, and I'm just looking straight up. It's like on this branch. And I go, I can reach that. So I put my hand straight up, give it a little hop, grab the branch, and just start shaking wildly. Now, at this point, I realize that pine trees in the middle of one of the driest autumns we've ever had is just going to rain down an ungodly amount of pine needles and pine cones onto one's body. So I now am covered in pine cones, but eventually, racket falls down. Keep shaking. Second racket falls down. Keep shaking. Third racket moves and appears to get even more stuck. At this point, I'm like, okay, I'm going to use one of the rackets that fell down. And instead of throwing it, I'm going to take the racket and I am going to just poke the racket with the racket to get it unstuck and it's going to fall down. Big brain. 2 things are happening this time. The gears are turning in my brain. I'm like, dude, I'm a 5-head. I'm going to get this racket out of the tree. And then my sister, once again, the smart doctor, she goes, I now realize the comedy of this situation. And I'm going to tape it.
Watch out.
Oh!
Watch out.
Okay, so I wiggled it loose a little bit. Okay? Chris, seeing me struggle, decides to finally get involved in what we're doing. Okay? Hey, Withers. Thanks for the lurk, brother. Appreciate it. And she comes in and takes over.
Babe, I'm gonna put you in your end.
She says, you're using the wrong end. And because I immediately know she's right, I lash out at her and say I'm going to put her on her end.
Babe, I'm gonna put you in your end.
But she is too short to reach.
Is it? You ain't even tall enough yet.
Who's the gray pants? That's my mother. By the way, hitting the tree doesn't matter. It doesn't work.
Watch out.
Oh!
Watch out. babe, I'm gonna put you in your end. It ain't as easy as it looks, is it? You ain't even tall enough yet.
So, you guys are like, hoist, make a pyramid. Okay, that's a good idea. We didn't think of it. My mom goes, Luke, go get the car. You're going to stand on top of it and get it down. Now, once again, this is where we are. Okay, my mom is parked literally where this car is parked. So she's going to back up, and she is going to drive, pop the curb, drive through the grass, and put her car right here under the tree. And then one of us, my 300-pound self, my brother's 300-pound self, or my short sister, is going to climb up on the roof of her 2015 Honda CRV and just grab the racket and the doll. Because don't forget, the whole reason we're doing this is because there is the possibility that there is a small doll filled with gold in this tree. April, good morning. I say we are not going to drive the car up onto the grass. So I take the racket and using Chris's idea of poking it with the pointy side instead of the racket side, I am able to dislodge the racket. I'm a god. So now we have three rackets again. It might as well be rockets. They're rackets. And we take these three rackets. And now that we know we can get the rackets out of the tree, and worst case scenario, my mom is willing to drive her car up onto the grass and we could just reach. We get a little bit of confidence that we can whack this toy. So eventually, we just keep throwing rackets. 4 or 5 throws in. No more stuck rackets. We got lucky, probably because we killed the tree, hitting it with rackets so many times. 4 or 5 rackets in, we finally hit the doll. And the doll falls from its limb onto another limb. We see success in our methods. Throw more rackets. Eventually, we get the doll out of the tree. Mission accomplished. We didn't need to drive the car up onto the thing. And our manly strength of throwing rackets was all that was required to get the doll out of the tree. And when we pull the doll out of the tree, this is what we're greeted with. That thing. And to answer your question, no, it was not filled with gold. It was exactly like we thought it was, a tiny little Happy Meal style toy that my best guess is some mean big brother took it and threw it in the tree as an LOL. I don't know how she saw it. I wish if I had known the hilarity that had transpired over the course of this, I would have documented it in a tree. Because it is very impressive that she saw this thing 10 feet up in branches in a pine tree. It is very impressive that she saw it. Don't get me wrong. And then once we get it, we go, okay, what are we going to do with it? And my mom said, well, I guess we'll just set it over here in case the little girl comes back and wants her toy. And so she takes it and she sets it on this green electrical box. And then we all go home. And that's it. There was no gold in it. I mean, it's like... And I was like, thank you, guys. You filled up the first hour of my show tomorrow. I appreciate it. You know? Thank you. Thank you for that. But yeah, I don't know how my mom saw it. I don't know why we were so obsessed with getting it down. But once we had started, we couldn't stop. At one point, I turned to my sister when Luke and my mom were trying to get it down, and I said, do you think that if we were on, like, our third or fourth date with our respective husbands or wives right now, and they saw what our family was doing, us included, do you think they would have stuck around? The answer is no. Why would there be gold in it? I don't know. There wouldn't be. But what if there was, is my mom's logic. Okay? My mom, for years now, is she likes, it's like something to pass the time while she's out and about. She likes looking for, like, dropped money. Like, I can't tell you how many times, like, we've just been shopping at Target and we'll be at a parking lot and she'll stop in the middle of the road and just bend down and pick up a penny. And, like, she'll often be like, why don't I ever find just, like, $100 bills lying around? And I'm like, because people just don't leave $100 bills around, Mom. That's not a thing people do. Like, no one goes, oh, it's not worth picking up that $100 bill. She's like, what if it blew away and got stuck in a fence? And then she'll be looking at fences for dollars as we drive by. Prospector in the past life, that's probably exactly what it is, brother. That's the only explanation. And, like, she's not obsessed with it or anything. Like, she's not crazy about it. It's just something she does for fun to pass the time. And she looks for money. And so I think when she sees the doll, her brain just goes, what if there's gold in that? And then what am I supposed to say? There's definitely not gold in it? Because that's what I said. But she's like, what if there is? Well, I guess I don't really have a rebuttal for that. Because what if there is? What if someone took that doll and hid their nuggets in it? Their gold nuggets. I'm not going to leave the chance of there being gold up there. Y'all are doing some kind of scavenger hunt or something. No. My mom just hawk-eye noticed it because she was probably looking for money, and she noticed a little doll in the tree, possibly filled with gold. You know, geocaching would be great. Maybe she should take that up. I feel like that would be a fun hobby for her, since she likes looking for things around normal areas. But yeah, that's the saga of the doll in the pine tree and us standing around in 45-degree Fahrenheit weather at 9 o'clock at night throwing rackets at a tree in a public park.